Well, episode 4. Thank you for joining me once again on this episode of Permanently Moved. I do hope it sounds alright, as I usually record these things on a Thursday and it's quiet, but today there are builders outside and my neighbour, who is a singer-songwriter and arranger, has been blasting out guitar all day, so I just sat down and thought I'd do it anyway. Our first point of order for this week is mailbag. Gordon White of runesoup.com writes, "Your brother's observation from episode 2 is entirely valid." Well, thank you for seconding the feedback. I appreciate it. You may have noticed that this week was a little shorter, and in fact, looking back, I've managed to cut a whole 12 seconds from the intro, from the beginning of the podcast to when I start speaking, so I don't think that's too bad. I think I'm going to keep it that way until everyone's got used to the theme tune, and then I'm just going to change it. But that probably won't be for a while because I'm lazy. The second point of order is announcements. First announcement is that on May the 5th, I'll be speaking at Peer-to-Peer Web in Berlin, which is billed as an offline hangout about being online better. If you want to RSVP to that, you can go to peer-to-web.com/Berlin. And I'll be speaking about vertically integrated sensor platforms, Solarpunk, and Lander's platform, the project that I spoke about in last week's episode. That's the same weekend as Republica, so if you're in town, it'd be great to see you on that Saturday. Now, my second announcement is that I've bought some Easy Jeans from Uniqlo. Don't know if you've heard about them or seen about them, but they're basically just sweatpants that look like jeans. Some of the vloggers and YouTubers that I follow have been talking about them, and I saw them, so I bought them, and I'm wearing them right now. Let me tell you, they are awesome. They are literally the perfect working from home trousers. You can answer the door when the postman comes, you can wander around the flat, they have great pockets, they feel like jeans, they look like jeans, but you know, they're soft like sweatpants, and it has literally leveled up my working from home experience. I am podcasting in comfort right now. And let me tell you, my world has changed. Announcement number 3 is this podcast should now be available in all your favorite podcatchers, and probably by Monday should be available in iTunes. So wherever you're listening to this on the net, go check it out. You can find it by searching Permanently Moved. Which brings me along to what will probably be another recurring feature, and that is tech support. Wow, I've learned so much in the last 4 weeks about recording podcasts and setting up Libsyn and figuring out all of the details about how you publish and syndicate and, do all of that sort of stuff. It's been really interesting, and it's been a great learning curve because I am starting a Solarpunk podcast. If you want to sign up to the newsletter and find out when it's out, the link will be in the description of this episode. But back to the tech support, this week I found out that not all audio files are treated equally. Some podcatchers round this podcast down to 5 minutes instead of 5 minutes and 1 second. iTunes has round the previous episodes up to 5 minutes and 2 seconds, so that makes me like Apple even less. Which is all a bit annoying really, because the central conceit of this whole thing is that I write and record a podcast in an hour and it's 301 seconds long. Oh well, can't win them all. I'm going to try and make it so it shows up as 301 seconds in iTunes because they are the biggest platform, and we all need to bow down and worship the vertically integrated technology companies. Another useful piece of information that I learned this week is that if you're going to be on a live Google Hangout video chat that's being recorded and you're using Google Docs to write your notes, you should make the font bigger than you would normally would when you're interacting with that piece of software. Otherwise, you just see yourself squinting at the screen a whole bunch when you're trying to read out quotes and look for notes. I think if the text had been bigger, I would have looked a lot less like Hans Moleman in front of the screen. And the last piece of information for this week in tech support, if you're going to be making a podcast like this, and you mentioned it in the first episode, always carry your mobile phone compatible shotgun mic with you, because you never know who you're going to be with, and you never know who you could do a quick interview with. And on Monday this week, I didn't, and it was very annoying. And that's all I have time for this week. Thank you very much for listening. This has been episode 1804 of Permanently Moved.online, a podcast in 301 seconds.